you say to somebody out there that's listening to us right now or will be listening in the future that says, gee, I think I wish I was as brave as Chris?
I don't necessarily think I'm brave, and you don't have to be brave to seek the help either. It's if you just listen to the people around you, they'll guide you. So if you stay connected to those closest to you, those of your friends, those people that love you, listen to them and ask them for help, and they'll help guide you to where you need to be.
So you're talking about a support system, and many people are in denial that they have an issue, and sometimes even the loved ones are in denial.
Sure. I think to combat that, I think more of us need to come on shows like this. We need to tell our stories. If you're not comfortable sharing your story with your name on it, share it anonymously. I think the more this becomes just common, I think more people will be comfortable saying, wait a minute, something's wrong here. Let me bring it in for a diagnostic check.
Mental health issues just didn't appear yesterday.
Right.
People aren't inhabited by evil spirits or
no. And I think we've come such a long way with mental health, right? 50 years ago, I'd probably be in an institution rather than, a functioning,
or you'd be in a family's home and they'd keep you in a room.
Right. I would have been kept away from society. So we have come a long way. I think we can continue that momentum and keep moving forward, keep having these discussions about mental health, and eventually, others will become comfortable with sharing their own stories or getting the help that they need and not feel, weak when they do.
So the idea is that many people wish and hope and wait for something to happen with change. And we're going to tell this story again. I've told it a number of times on this show, but I love it. There was this person, Chris, that prayed to win the lottery every day. Sweat blood, okay? Well, nothing ever happened, and they got so upset and frustrated that one day they ran outside and yelled up at this guy. They said, God, why won't you let me win the lottery? And God called back down and says, could you meet me halfway and at least buy a ticket? So the idea is you bought the ticket, Chris. Congratulations. And perhaps we could close up by tell us that story about the Whirl. I love that show. I love that story.
Certainly. So and I'll just say that if anybody needs help meeting halfway, reach out to one of us and we'll help get you there. And that was the best thing that I think. The responses that I got back after I posted the video to Facebook were from friends from high school who said that their daughter's struggling with this, and so they this was a way to help other people seek the help that they needed too. So more of that is good.
Where can I get help?
Yeah,
reach out. Where's it available?
So when I started thinking about, to answer your question, when I started thinking about the circle, when the circle is spinning in a normal speed, like a tilt-a-whirl, it's a very fun ride, right? People like to be on that ride. They'll ride it with me. It's when that tilt-a-whirl starts to spin too fast that, well, it gets uncomfortable for people and they start to want to get off the ride, right? So that's why I wanted to show what the relationships kind of were when you're in your manic phase. When I'm fairly in a controllable sort of manic phase, or a more controllable manic phase, I'm more sociable. I have more energy. People like to be around me. They'll engage with my ideas and those types of things. It's when I start to speed up is when it just gets uncomfortable for people, and most people will take a step back from me and not want to sort of be connected to me, other than the ones that know what's happening. They'll recognize what's happening and they'll they'll sort of try and step in to get me to understand that I'm spinning too
So
fast.
you were open-minded enough to be able to listen to your friends and say, maybe they're right.
Yeah, I've come to understand that they are, and that's probably the best understanding that I've come to at this point, is that if I'm open enough to listen, and I won't say that I'm perfect about that, because I will say, nah, no, 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 no. Melissa would tell you that, yeah, it takes some time, because if I'm spinning too fast and still liking that
So
speed,
Chris,
I won't accept anything still.
So,
So
Chris, could you share with maybe some people who are listening out there right now and are thinking, "Wow, that kind of sounds like my partner, or my son, or my daughter, or my friend." What are some of the signs that you would have them look for?
when you're in your manic period, the signs that when you would look for with someone would be they're sleeping a lot less. In fact, they might not be sleeping at all. Um, they're likely not eating, or they're eating like, geez, I'd come home and eat a bag of microwave popcorn for dinner and call that dinner. So they're not eating right, or they're not eating a lot, or they're not eating at normal times. Not sleeping at normal times is another one. Uh, Adrenaline seeking behavior, anything from gambling to an increased appetite for sex, is one kind of symptom. So any of those kind of sort of more aggressive behaviors, I would say, you can pretty much guarantee that they're in manic, and if it continues to get worse, they're getting towards hypermania. Depression, people are more used to spotting the signs of depression, I think, now. To spot bipolar, you're spotting going from manic to depression very, very quickly. It can happen it can happen in the same hour. It can happen, you can go day to day, going up, down, up, down, up, down. That is pretty much you need to sort of seek help for bipolar at that point, if you're seeing that in a person, or if you're seeing that in yourself. And to me, that is, it's very dangerous when you're in hypermania. It's very dangerous when you're in deep depression. To me, I'm always more dangerous when I'm in those up down swings, because I want to make it stop and I want to feel better. And so I might stop taking my medication, or I might start taking something else, or I might drink more, or I might anything to sort of get it to stop. If in that kind of self-medicating behavior is dangerous, is, I think, most dangerous to me. And so that's what I would definitely look for. If if you're finding somebody is fighting depression, they might have bipolar, but if you at least get into treatment for depression, those other signs will sort of become more apparent over time too. So
That's great. Well, we're certainly glad that you came today. I'm certainly glad that I met you and you shared your experience in modeling behavior for people out there and letting them know that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay. It's not a sign of weakness. We often talk about the tough guys and the macho men. Well, they belong in the movies. Okay. If you want to see tough guys, go to the movies. All right. So it takes a real person of strength to come and say, "Hey, things aren't going so well. Could you please help me?" Good for you.
Well, thank you. I don't know where this journey was going to take me, but I'm happy to play sort of my role in bringing more awareness and understanding of the disease.
Well, no one can do everything. Everyone can do something.
So,
And you've certainly done your part today. Chris, you're
thank you.
delightful. So glad to have you today.
Thank you very much.
My hope is that everyone takes to heart what our friend Chris had to share. And perhaps if you have a loved one or even yourself, please seek out some help. It's certainly available. And if you have nowhere else to turn to, please contact the show and we can certainly put you in touch with some numbers and some resources that can help you. So as always, we give a pre-prescription at the end of every show. Fruits, nuts, and vegetables, unplug your television and take up fishing. And for a truly mindful experience, we suggest that you fish without bait. Do a kindness for yourself, do a kindness for another. Namaste. Till all are free, none are free.
Please check out our website at fishingwithoutbait.com, where you can listen to the show, comment on our discussions, and find out where you can subscribe to our podcast.
If you're interested in flying the colors of Fishing Without Bait, click the shop icon on our website. We have clothing, mugs, cell phone cases, and so much more. Show the world that you fish without bait. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.